Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of the G&A Podcast. I am literally Uzaki-chan.
And I'm the rental co-host that Drew purchases every week, so Roni.
And welcome back to the G&A Podcast, where we talk about all things anime, the good, the bad, and the weeb.
Yes, and this is going to be an exceptionally long episode, I predict, because we have a lot of anime to cover since the new season just started and all the shows came out, and we have a little bit of a mini review of another show to cover towards the end of the podcast, so shall we get into it?
Yes, we have a new segment. Indeed. Let us get into it. Start with our new segment, This Week in Anime. So who wants to go first?
I feel like mine is really quick, so I'll just go first.
Go for it.
So the Higurashi anime, which is what I've been highly anticipating, was delayed, but a little bit of a follow-up to that. It's actually going to be debuting in October after the delay. So next season. It's only delayed for one season, thankfully. There's going to be a remake of the Higurashi anime. If you haven't seen the original Higurashi anime, I think it still holds up well to this day. So I'm very much looking forward to this in October, and I'm positive we'll be covering it in the podcast because it's Higurashi.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of the first anime that Oni and I bonded over.
Yes, that Rika scene.
Yeah, that Rika scene. In other news, So this is an article explaining how Cardcaptor Sakura was canceled in the Philippines. Okay, so there was a lot I had to read through, and I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible. So here we go. Basically, so there's there was a huge broadcasting network called ABS-CBN.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest one has multiple radio and TV stations. They also have a digital channel called Yay, YEY. It's not Yay, yeah. So that's due to stream their anime, which included Cardcaptor Sakura, Clear Card Arc, or the Clear Card series.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, from what I'm reading from the article, basically people in the Philippines have a general love for Cardcaptor Sakura that's basically matched everywhere, including the US and Japan, etc., etc. Lots of people looking forward to it. Looking forward to the voice actors reuniting to voice it. Like they were that hype essentially.
Right.
So imagine our surprise when I continue reading, and apparently the reason why it's no longer airing is because of a long-running feud between the ABS-CBN network and the country's leader, President Rodrigo Duterte.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that. Wait, am I supposed to know him, or are you just saying that?
I just know him because he's like there in the news all the time with Trump. But anyway, continue.
Are they like
yeah,
buddies?
They're like buddies.
Wow, this makes so much sense. So ABS-CBN apparently was following Duterte's bloody war on drugs. Apparently, the president has also made open death threats against reporters from ABS-CBN.
Mm-hmm.
In 2016, apparently Duterte was mad at the network because they refused to run his campaign ads. But eventually, the network issued an apology while stating that the network aired most of the campaign ads. So it was like, you didn't run my ads, but they're like, oh, we ran some of them, ... Either way, all this comes to a head when, on May 5th, ABS-CBN was ordered by the National Telecommunications Telecommunications Commission to shut down. And the network is waiting for the license to be renewed by Congress. But I guess, they still need to wait. They were told that they could continue broadcasting, but apparently National Telecommunication Commissions, the NTC, was not playing around, and they issued a cease and desist order, which forced the network off the air. And, the president went as far as to say that he would not let their license be renewed.
So basically, the president killed card captors. Got it.
Basically. And they tried. To, debut stuff. They got as far as episode 2? Or I think, episode 2. Excuse me. On Monday, June 29th. But, unfortunately, the NTC issued yet another cease and desist order, and on June 30th, the very next day, ABS, CBN TV Plus, and Sky Direct were kicked off of air. And then the following night, July 1st, Yay has ceased broadcasting in all other areas as well.
Well, there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the Philippines, it seems.
That's crazy. Imagine the president being so fucking petty that he literally closed, I don't know, MSNBC.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he would if he could.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would. But that being said, that's insane. They shut down a whole thing.
Yeah, a whole fucking station.
And it feels bad for everyone, because one, people want to watch their TV, and two, of course now poor anime has to suffer for it. And so many people are, as I said before, looking forward to this. It actually really hurts me as a fan. Could you imagine if the only way I could watch stuff is through Crunchyroll, and then Trump was like,
I'm cutting down Crunchyroll. They didn't run my ads. They didn't run my
ads. This company it actually controls Crunchyroll. Ergo, I'm going to shut down. Ergo, shutting down Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Jesus. So
this is why politics shouldn't mix with anime.
They don't. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't. It's so crazy that it literally became political to the point where you could shut down people's that's super. They're super infringing on their rights.
Yeah.
The freedom of speech. What? So that's crazy. So yes, while it did start out being oh my god, Cardcaptor Sakura, I think this is a very dangerous story, being hey, this shit where people attack other people's freedom to say whatever they want it still can be attacked. We shouldn't take what we have for granted, and we should hope that Trump remains too stupid to, block our rights out. Yeah.
Well, that's the one thing I can be thankful for. He is an idiot. So,
God.
With that said, shall we move on to the anime reviews that we do have?
Please and thank you.
Then first up, let us get started with Oregairu Season 3, Episode 1, which we had to binge all the first 2 seasons to catch up on. But nonetheless, we did, so Episode 1 of Season 3.
Okay, so one of us had to binge it. The other one took his time and watched it gingerly and carefully, because we definitely had over a month to do so. But neither here nor there.
And we'll review it at the end of the podcast, a new segment. But for now, we'll talk about Season 3 first. And this is one of my episodes of the week. Of 2.
You don't do that.
I'm sorry. There were so many great episodes this week.
No, oh god, I kind of want to make this my episode of the week too.
I mean, it was so amazing, and
all right.
is already.
I'm also just playing my stuff. If only can do it, because I really wanted to. Oh
man, I would be hilarious if you had the other episode of the week the same. I know you don't though. I know you don't.
Oh, you say I know you don't. Okay, then I really don't know what. is. But yeah, this was so good. I know I see our episode of the week because it was like a Komachi episode.
Well,
like, it was like a
first
little
off,
bit.
can we just agree that Komachi is literally like their relationship is literally the best part of the whole the whole show. Like anytime Komachi shows up and they just banter with each other is the best scenes in the entire show. Like they have such a good chemistry with each other.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. She literally jumped right straight to second for me. Like, oh my god, it was their dynamic is so pure and loving, almost to the point where it's like it's non-believable, but I want to believe in it.
And they have like a lot of just like really, like it's really realistic. Like they really feel like a good brother and sister pair. Like they play around a lot. Their demeanor changes when they're around each other and stuff. It's really adorable.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that they don't. I love it. I love it. No, because they're openly making very incesty jokes.
Yeah, like a couple of like he does mostly. I don't know. She doesn't really make any incest.
Okay, but yeah, but brothers and sisters normally don't do that. So that's a weird thing that most siblings, as someone who has siblings, I don't do that.
Fine, you're being very literal. I'm just saying their general chemistry is
so then yes, their chemistry is sibling goals, essentially. Yeah, so very much reminded me of like my relationship with my sisters and plural.
Mm-hmm.
But like that last scene, oh no, that just put it over the top. That was so unfair. So unfair.
This whole episode was so good. And by the way, and we're gonna get to this when we touch on the review. The thing I love about this show is that it's able to do drama and comedy and dialogue so well. Like all the dialogue in this episode was amazing.
It was true.
Even in the beginning with Yukino and Yui and Hachiman when they were when it picked up right where it left off from season 2, which was awesome. They had really witty banter with each other, and she was mocking him. And it really felt like kind of like Bunny Girl Senpai. Like they had really great dialogue, and even the dialogue between Komachi and her brother was really good.
Yeah, that was honestly the highlight of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to. I feel like this theme of this episode, for the most part, was very much centered on family. It was super family. Started with Yukino having her relationship with the sister, which now her saying what she said this episode puts a lot more in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I understand why your sister kind of is just like, I love you, but I also hate you. Yeah, I get it now. It makes a lot more sense.
It makes a lot more sense. I mean, she's still a bitch, and I hate her, but it still makes a lot more sense.
Man, I'm really in no position to defend her.
Exactly.
I'm here for the chaotic energy. She's not exactly the best human being. But yeah, So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where this season takes Yukinon, where she's like has to somehow explain or make her intentions known that like, hey, I know you have this expectation on my older sister, but I actually want to do what you guys are making her want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I can't just let me do what I want to do.
So I'm trying to run my life.
Exactly.
Or in this case, run my sister's life.
Yeah, run my sister's life. And then, just kind of whatever me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Do what you want.
I do like that dichotomy. Like, it's a very weird... It's a very weird, ironic thing that's going on between them. Like, where clearly Haruno's more resentful of her sister because, I want that freedom. And she's being forced to do the thing that her mom wants her to do, and then Yukino's just like, but I want the structure. I don't want all this freedom.
Yeah, I don't want all this freedom. I kind of just want to do what y'all do.
Yeah. So it is very ironic, and I love it. It's I like all the little foils that the characters have set up for each other and stuff. Like there's the actual characters and the the messaging and the themes and stuff are really well established and well done. And even the fun characters, like I consider Saki a fun character, and she had a great moment this episode.
Yeah, Saki was really. Saki and her sister were very great. Yet another family dynamic duo. And I like seeing that side of Hachiman, who's clearly like has like a weaknesses for like like younger sisters.
Yeah, that was cute. Like, eat this. We'll split it in half. Don't tell your sister. She's like, I'm right here.
She's like, I'm right here, and I'm just like, that's so adorable. Like I loved it. Like it just filled my heart.
You see, and I need those kind of scenes to break up the deep depression moments that happen. Like, well, not deep depression, like the tense moments and the
heavy,
serious heavy moments. Yeah, like there was 2 very serious heavy moments in this episode, but in between them there was a lot of like levity and light scenes. That scene where a flashback to season 1, and Hachiman is asking her where the roof is. And then he just randomly like, "I love you," and Saki just like, screams.
Yeah, exactly. That was great.
So
yeah,
the fact that the show can do such a good job of just balancing comedy and drama and heavy tension is wonderful.
Yeah, I would say so. And then at the last part, I think the last part was so powerful. Because it showed something from season 1 to 3, which doesn't happen often, especially in dramas like these, or in a lot of like series where it has more than one season. It literally showed like, substantial growth of a character. Like that's why that last scene was so powerful, because it actually showed that Komachi, once you strip away all like the jokes and the sitcom jokes and their usual banter, she's like, no, I've actually I've matured, and she's acknowledging, and you can see it by the way she acknowledges it, and very in a very respectful way bows and thanks her brother.
And even when he started tearing up, I almost teared up. I was like, oh man.
Yeah,
I'm very weak to family moments like that.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, for the episode 1 to be that roller coastery and then just take me through all my emotions and everything, I'm like, oh, this is such an amazing start to the season. So it had to be my episode of the week, along with something else. But yes.
Yeah, this is very, very, very strong first episode for this anime. Very happy.
I love all the characters too, so it's
yeah.
All right. In that case, with our praise and adoration for Oregairu out of the way, shall we move on to another episode, namely ReZero episode 1 of season 2.
Shit, I dropped my pen. So I loved all these. I love Rem with her new hair color and contacts. Very cute. Sorry, of course I had to.
Throw your little joke about Rem's expense.
Don't worry,
poor Rem suffering this whole fucking episode, and you're over here mocking her.
Oh yes, this is what happens. This is what happens when the creators of this anime were like, let's give her all like the best moments possible, even though her super bad bitch, cool as a cucumber sister is literally right there.
Where she wasn't in this episode.
Exactly. Yeah. Even in episodes where Rem no longer exists, Rem still gets more screen time. So I don't feel bad for Rem. She can stay asleep. I guess this whole series will just be half the episode is just gonna be Rem, and then you're gonna be Rem is unconscious.
Ren officially has more screen time while asleep than Ram has.
The entire series.
Oh yeah, but no. It's all right. At least we're unified in our disdain for what's her fucking face? Amelia. I kept calling her Elisa for some reason. Amelia. Yeah, no, I hate her. She's so boring.
Oh God.
And plain. Even in this episode, she didn't really do much. She just was there, as always, just being there, doing her thing.
I'm really I'm about to start calling her Tofu.
Tofu. I was gonna go with Vanilla, but then again, I kind of like Vanilla.
Exactly, like Vanilla actually You need a sprinkle. Like it doesn't take much to make vanilla taste good. Tofu, however,
Yeah, stick with tofu. She's a very tofu personality. But
yeah.
like even in that meeting where they had like that's my main problem with Amelia. She doesn't do anything. Like there was a giant meeting where Ferris Ferris and Crush and the Butler and everyone was there talking about their plans. And Amelia's right there and does not say like a single thing, I think, for the whole fucking meeting. She's just
except to say, damn, maybe it is my fault because I look like the witch.
I look like the witch.
When? Like,
can you please take charge and have the girl who just lost all her memories and doesn't know anything about herself has more personality than you, Amelia.
How exactly.
She has more presence here than you.
How does an amnesiac have more personality than you do? That's crazy.
The villains that showed up have more personality.
They actually did. We actually get introduced to two new apostles of the witch, the apostle of greed and the apostle of gluttony. The apostle of greed, I actually like him. He kind of reminds me of like Gil.
Why? Because he's so destructive and fucking powerful.
With that, yeah, he's so destructive without really lifting a finger, and he's kind of just like, I'm just here chilling. Like, he's a lot less dickish. So in some ways, I kind of like
I was just chilling in the middle of the road. Why are you coming my way?
Gluttony, however, is a whole different story. He kind of talks a lot. I made a joke during the live watch that he is Gluttony because he's eating up everyone's dialogue.
Yeah, and he just looks. I don't like him. He makes me feel like weird. His whole design is very off-putting. Looks like I'm gonna say something. I'm not gonna say that. That's mean. But anyway, I just don't like his design. He looks creepy as fuck.
Yikes!
I was gonna say he looks straight out of Azoken, but
wow,
he does. His face is very Azoken-y.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to throw shade at Azoken every once in a while.
Wow, Azoken did nothing. But yeah, one thing I'm not looking forward to, which I feel is gonna be happen. I don't know. I really don't know what this anime. It always finds a way to surprise me. It's just like, okay, so when do we get to the part where Subaru is sad and gets really weird and starts upspending everyone with his...
Yeah, that's gonna be the part of the series I'm not looking forward to.
Like, also another thing that I'm upset about is that they didn't do the whole
I'm sure we'll get plenty of that.
That's literally one of the things I look forward to when I watch this anime, actually. Because it's so unnecessary and over the top. I love it.
It's funny because a lot of these shows, like the first episode of these shows, was really over the top and crazy and like on top of the game, and then the ReZero's first episode was really subdued.
Yeah,
and it was just kind of exposition-y and like it didn't have the hype, It
was fine until the end, and then like the end was just like
talking Amelia, and then when Amelia does talk, it's so fucking funny.
Right? She's literally just like, "Hey, are you okay? Like maybe you should rest. Like no, you should like really rest. Like just like." Rest or something, and I'm just like, oh my god, Tofu, shut up.
Yeah, I'm just, I kind of I wanted more, I wanted something more out there, like it just feels like to have all this hype and then come into this episode, it's like, it should have been more fast paced or at least more exciting or something. We had like one exciting moment with the fight, but other than that, it was just like,
yeah, I don't know how like I enjoyed this stuff first time around because
it was definitely more fun to watch with the patrons.
Yeah, I think that's probably why. Because I was watching with other people and it was my first time watching. The second time I was just like, I knew the episode was over. I knew they were just gonna talk, so I'm just like, oh my god, just end already. Just end already. But yeah, it wasn't a bad episode. It
wasn't. It just wasn't a standout. Like, oh wow, this was amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of great episodes this week, so
it gets a pass, I guess. I expect more from you, ReZero. I expect more though. I only hold you to a high standard because I know you're capable of it. So get on the game.
What he said. Up next.
Speaking of high standards.
Yeah, Fire Force 2, Episode 2.
Well, 1 and 2.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah, we still had to do
Did
2
not
episodes
cover-
of Fire Force and 2 episodes of Fruits Basket.
Right, we have to do all that. Huh. Okay. And I definitely did not.
Right, do it till the first episode.
I did not write any notes for the first episode, but that's okay because honestly, I don't think I had to.
It wasn't that not that much actually happened. I mean, it was an introductory episode, so I don't think anything plot relevant really happened. The first half was them shopping for the lieutenant, and it was all comedic. And then there was like a big fight between this random fire monster to just show off the action. And then the second half was the calendar, which was fucking crazy. The nude calendar.
I did not like. First of all, the first episode is literally just 2 episodes in one, like quite strictly and literally 2 episodes in one. Did not understand why this was like a first episode.
I do, because it wanted to give you everything you can expect from Fire Force. How stupid the comedy is and the characters are, how good the action is. Because the action scene was just like, even though it was like a low stakes scene about some random monster of the week dude, like all the fucking effects and it just looked amazing. It was so pretty to look at. But for me, the highlight was definitely all the stupid comedy moments that were in this episode. Just remember they bought the Lieutenant walks in and he has the fucking like bunny tail outfit and he has like a hat that says like nudist bitch on it.
Right, bro. Those like hello. Oh my gosh. It was crazy. Those they really went. Yeah, they went above and beyond. I was just like, what? I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. It was just very weird first episode.
But that's what I mean. Like, Fire Force is weird. It gets off on being weird. That's what was charming about Soul Eater, in that it's like a shonen, but it's also fucking weird and doesn't make sense.
But season 1 wasn't. It was, but it wasn't like
but
that.
The best parts were weird, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's
like when we go into other style randomly, where it was like a horror anime all of a sudden. But yeah, no, I like the weirdness of it. The whole calendar portion I get, because it's like, oh, we're a fire department, so we have to have a new calendar. I thought that was a cute little, even though it is biased, because there's only men.
Yeah, I mean that's how it normally happens. Yeah, no, shut up. I don't feel bad for you. Yeah, I'm here for all men's calendar. And
I like
I remember I used to be younger, and when we used to order daily news, every year they'd be like, here's some shots of fireman's hottest, and I'm just like, yes, yes, thank you, Daily News.
Is that the equivalent of like what I used to do when there used to be before the internet, and there would just be like random, you'd stay up at like 1 o'clock in the morning and you'd switch to like Cinemax or something, and it'd be like this really random softcore porn just play.
Not even. It's more like it's like pinup stuff. It's way more equivalent to pinup stuff.
Even worse. I did like they had the pinup of the guy with the plague mask, the antagonist from the first season, and he's clearly like on his Photoshop super muscular body.
Yeah, it was weird because he was really hot though. He's really hot.
All these bad guys are super hot.
James is dead. Not fucking. Oh, do you remember the one with Giovanni?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, not Giovanni. No, I was talking about the first one from like episode 1 or like episode what, like 2 or 3. The one with the stars in his eyes.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was the first one that he showed, and it was like all the Department 1 people or whatever, Squad 1.
Yes, no, he was hot, but that's not.
I was talking about Giovanni.
About that freak. that little freak.
No, don't be jealous of his bod. He worked hard for that.
I'm not jealous at all. He can keep it. Stay far away from me.
He worked hard for the money.
But I still won't treat him right.
Either way, I think the first episode was just pretty, it it was just a good introductory episode. I think the second episode kind of touched a lot more on the plot.
Woo! The second episode
Was plot heavy as fuck.
Girl. So they started right off the gate. There was like, first of all, they introduced the new character, Ogun, the black guy. Mm-hmm. I know there's other characters. I don't care because they're not Ogun.
Love. I like the old dude more. Only because, again, I like that Fire Force is leaning into how stupid everything is.
I like them both equally because they're both very one's just the black guy, and the captain of the 4th Division, he was very funny.
He was, and I'm glad it's leaning into the whole just we're gonna have characters that are just really, really stupid and try to leverage our comedy with our action. Like the whole action scene at the end, I was dying when Arthur was using the old man as a shield.
he literally had no time to use it, call it like attack. Like, shield protect, and he's like, and the whistle dude's like, can you not use like our captain as a shield? Oh my god, it was so funny. So we learn, the Adela burst mechanic starts getting more broken down.
Mm-hmm.
We're realizing that more people were like revealed, or they were shown a taste of the Adela burst, the Adola burst.
Mm-hmm.
I guess people like the main character, like Shinra, you know, they are forever linked to whatever that chick is, whoever that chick is. And there's people who just get exposed to it, but if they get exposed to it, they lose a piece of themselves, like something sacrificed. It's very much copying off of Full Metal Alchemist, by the way, but I'm like, all right.
I'll allow it. I mean, it copies off Bleach all the time, so I'm like, whatever. I'll allow it. I'll allow it to copy off something else now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that it is exploring that a bit more. I like the whole aspect where Shinra's losing his grip on reality a bit, and he kind of just lost himself this episode. I think it had, for one, like my big problem with Shinra in the first season was just he was kind of too plain for me. But I think this whole him having to fight against himself and this person inside of him kind of makes him at least a more interesting character, you know?
Yeah, because it forces him to deal with like the circumstances around his mother's death.
Exactly.
He's like,
I think it's a great move, a great direction.
Yeah. He's like, shit, well, I wanted to get revenge on the person who killed my mother and brother, but the person who killed my mother was my mother. So what do I do? So what do I do with this?
Now who do I revenge?
Exactly. I have all this anger and upsetment. Like, where do I direct all this rage I used to have at?
Exactly. And yeah, it was just most of the episode was that battle, and I think it was really well animated. Of course, the show's always well animated. It looked fantastic. It looked great. I love all the effects. I love Arthur as a character, and I love his fighting style being like,
oh god,
crazy delusion that he has.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, why is he like that? And then we do a background into his life, which super depressing. His parents they were like, they didn't have much money. They were pretty poor. And his dad would always, try to make him play with his imagination, like, pretend that this is this. No, this really is like a castle, and this is like a gourmet meal, and blah blah blah. And we do love you, our child. Look at all these illusions that I'm saying.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up background.
Yep. And then he wakes up one day, and his parents abandon him.
Well,
Yep, under the illusion that, they were going on a quote-unquote adventure.
It does suck. I do like that we get more background on Arthur. I hope we do get, I'm sure they will go more in detail about it later.
Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to
It's going to be sad.
I don't don't want to see his heart get hurt.
He's gonna like run into his parents, and his parents are gonna like try to manipulate him. I don't want to see it, but at the same time, I kind of do.
I mean, when I say I don't want to see it, I mean I always do because I'm always down to just get emotionally just torn to shreds.
As long as they don't do that episode the same week that fucking Oregairu does its episode that's going to be super depressing, and ReZero does its super depressing episode, then I might not make it to the podcast. I might just be like, I'm too depressed right now.
I am literally just
and then Fruits Basket.
I totally just shoots the Toro in the leg.
Yeah, there's landmines everywhere right now.
Shoots her in the leg, infection happens, and she wakes up and she's like, oh, because of the infection, you're now barren. Congratulations.
Yeah. So
I'm clearly a masochist for this shit. So
yeah, this is your season. I don't know. We might have a lot of drama this season. A lot of drama. Somehow I thought we had a lot of comedies, but we actually have a lot of dramas.
We actually have a lot of drama.
But one show that isn't a drama
is
God of High School.
Episode 1. My second episode of the week.
I knew it was gonna be this one. I was very close to making this because it was so good. This was just amazing.
It was really just amazing. For
any episode that has a Stone Cold Stunner in it should be episode of the week. So I'm glad they give it to us. Everything about it was just so good. I feel like this is what. No, I like the Tower of God's animation as well. I don't hate it. I'm just saying. Oh no, but this was better. I'll say it. This was way better animated than Tower of God. Maybe because it had more action than Tower of God did. You know, it had more ways to show off.
Well, I won't say just yet that has better animation, but okay, it's slightly better. It's slightly better than I'll give it that. The animation's pretty great, but it's also just generally like a good first episode compared to. I feel bad that I feel like we're gonna be comparing this to Tower of God more than once because
I'm gonna be comparing it to Tower of God and Attack on Titan there because this is Mappa. Yeah, Mappa's gonna handle the next season of Attack on Titan. If this is what they're doing, woo! I can't wait for the next
it's Mappa, so it's like yeah. I didn't expect it to be bad.
So beautiful.
Something that I feel like some people touched upon, and I think I saw it once or twice in chat, and I also noticed it because I notice things like this, and I feel like Oni's gonna get all huffy and puffy. But what is with the red ears, nose, and kneecaps?
Oh no, I hate that. It annoys me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, no, I was gonna bring that up if you didn't. I was gonna say I hate that they all have red noses.
Also, why are their ears so detailed? It's like their ears are so.
I heard someone mention that it's because like if you're a fighter. Some trademarks of fighters are that they have really red noses from all the punches to the nose, and they have like cauliflower type ears because their ears are always swelling from the punch. Like it's supposed to make them look like fighters, I guess, because they're like, oh, you get punched in the face a lot, so of course you're gonna have these weird facial features. But I'm like, I don't need that level of detail.
Yeah,
I'll be fine without those. I don't need everyone to look like Rudolph. All right.
Exactly. Like, I love the intro to like the main trio. What I'm assuming is the main trio of this series. It felt very wacky, but not forced, and just it was like really random, but in a good way.
Yeah, and I like the chemistry that they have, and I love their general demeanor. It's just kind of they're all over the top. Well, the one guy is just kind of chill, but the main character and the girl are really kind of over the top. The girl's accident pro. The one who got fucked up the most in this episode was definitely the girl of anybody in the show. She got fucked up before the fights even happened.
Yeah, oh god! Ooh, she literally took a fucking bike to the face.
She took a bike to the face and then tried to jump on top of the motorcycle and got slammed into a sign.
Bro, I was dying when she literally was walking with like a sign on her face. So. And I'm just like stuff like that. Like yes, that makes this whole.
It's so over the top and fun. I loved all the little comedy moments that they had. Like that moment, the moment where he was like he like just superimposed this tragic backstory onto this old woman. Like, oh, she needs the money to save her son from cancer or something. And like he just did it, like plays as like this fast forward video in his head. That was really cute.
Yeah, like that whole recap animation, like it was just it was just so funny. Someone was complaining that they're like, oh, that the chase scene took too long and there wasn't enough fighting, and I'm like, girl, it's 13 episodes of this. Trust me, I feel like that was a fun way to introduce everything, and there was fighting at the end.
I didn't mind it. It was, I mean, exactly. I guess if I were to compare it strictly to, it was a lot longer than the fighting scene was, but it was good, so I don't care. It was a really good scene.
Exactly. It was fun. So And
shout out to the motorcycle driver. He's actually, we should give him credit for being able to elude them for so long.
Yeah. Definitely would give him the credit where it was due. The fighting animation, amazing. Loved it so
very
much.
Fluid. I like that I really love that they all have different styles and you can see it in their animations. Like a lot of fighting anime will just have like the two people have similar styles, like martial arts. They'll both be martial arts or something. But in this show, it's very clear that the girl's a sword, like fights with a sword. The main character kicks everybody. The other dude's just like a brawler, has a really powerful punches. The random people in the background all have their own unique style. Like one dude was a literal martial artist. This other girl was like a grappler. Like they all have very distinct styles.
I mean that girl who I feel like is just Gyaru High School Quest.
Yeah, that one. Stone Cold Stunner, the other guy. Yeah, her. There's like a guy reading a book and he's just like fucking deflecting everything.
Was that the one with the bat? Just fucking
yeah. That I just like. I love that they're all just different styles, and even the dude who came in at the end, the guy with the dreads, and he just had like his handcuff. He was great too, by the way. He just came and started being the show. Everybody,
being the crap out of everyone, and then the main character like pulls down his pants, and I'm just like, what? Like it was so.
I like the little banter they had there.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
He's like, it's what's inside that matters. He has like an
elephant. I was like, excuse me. Oh my god!
Yeah, this is just a fun show. Like this is just pure fun.
Great first episode.
Amazing, and I'm looking. This is gonna be a show that after we get those episodes from fucking Oregairu and ReZero and Fruits Basket that are gonna make me super depressed, I'm gonna make sure this show is the one I watch to recoup from that episode because it's gonna cheer me up.
Speaking of anime that will cheer Oni up, next we have Konojo Okarishimasu, episode 1.
Yes, my other episode of the week, because this was.
So I'm also not surprised.
It was an amazing episode.
Yeah, that's I'm not surprised. Why did you?
I thought you were gonna be sarcastic. I'm not surprised because there's a girl in it.
No, it was a pretty good episode. I mean, yeah, it probably didn't hurt either, but it was by itself a pretty good first episode. God, I don't know where to start.
I will start by saying Chizuru is my waifu now. She is literally the perfect woman, in my opinion, and has all the things I love in a woman, and she's just perfection.
You mean her ability to be fake?
No, not even being fake. Like, she's just incredible. Like, she's a great person. First off, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I like the fact that she is fake in the sense that she has routine and everything, but I don't see her as fake because she genuinely does take her job seriously and want to make everyone have a good experience.
No, you are absolutely right. I
love the effort she actually puts into her job.
Yeah, into like being that perfect girlfriend. That this whole episode, regardless of the situation, nothing really truly like caught her off guard or caught her off her game.
And she even took some situations and she just like turned them around onto Kazuya, like when the second best character shows up, the grandmother.
Oh my god, grandma is gold.
Grandma
She's
is gold. She needs her own spinoff. Her and the Golden Girls in this hospital.
She is actually me. In addition to Uzaki-chan being me, she's also me.
Yes, she's great. That whole sex conversation, and then instead of being all flustered, she's just like, "Oh, actually, we're just looking to get your permission." It's really.
And then Grandma was like, "Yes, fuck, please."
Also, I love that this takes place in college, along with Uzaki-chan. Like, we actually have 2 college comedies this season, which I love the. I love when comedies take place in college because there's room for more raunchy comedy. You know, like we get like them getting drunk and drinking and doing crazy shit, like kind of like Grand Blue did. So,
and it doesn't feel as childish.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as juvenile like something else we'll get into later. But anyway.
But yeah, so there wasn't much ecchi until like the very end, but there was ecchi.
Some. It was tasteful though. It wasn't very.
Yeah, it wasn't like. It just wasn't like, oh, he's on top of me, and then everyone's just wet for no reason. Like.
Chizuru also has like super thighs. I love her thighs, but the thing that got me this episode was. I thought I was gonna like it got me through this like roller coaster because at first I went into this episode thinking, oh man, the idea of renting a girlfriend is so stupid, and I also thought like I'm gonna not hate the main. I was gonna. No, I thought I was gonna hate the main character because I think someone in the chat in the stream was like, "You're gonna hate the main character," and I kind of did for the first half because he was a giant dick on the date.
Yeah.
And I got super cringy, and I was like, "Ah, I fucking hate this guy."
Yeah, exactly. He was like, "Don't you hate when?" And then I love when she cusses him out because
yes, exactly. And I'm like, "Oh yes, please get." I'm glad she brought up that 1-star review. At first, I thought when he gave her the 1-star review, she was gonna call him and be like, "Da da da da, why do you give me a 1-star review?" But I'm glad it took him being an extra, even despite the 1-star review, this girl went out and studied up on fish to get better at her job. I love Chizuru so much. But yeah, I love that she just called him out on that 1-star review and shut him up and set him straight. Oh, I love her. But yeah, no, I didn't hate him as much as I thought I would though, because he ended up
at the beginning he gave huge Subaru from season 1. With that whole cringe. Yeah,
he was super cringy and
towards Tofu. Yeah, like he reminded me a lot of like when Subaru was doing all of that. But toward the end, he was definitely redeemable. What redeemed him for me specifically was definitely when he was about to like confess.
Oh yeah,
like, I don't want to like inconvenience her to that extent. Like that's doing the most.
Yeah, like that's doing too much. And even their heart to heart at the end where he's like, I'm just a rabbit and I was lonely. Like I'm like, all right, at least you're acknowledging that you fucked up, you know? And exactly. So I thought like, that's redeeming. And then he gave her a nice 5-star review. It was like best, most fantastic, and that was really cute and sweet. I actually like their synergy that they have with each other. Yeah, also, can we just say I thought about it. I think renting a girlfriend would be a fantastic service if that ever did exist in America. I'm just saying. Like, not even escorts, because I mean, this is kind of close to just being an escort, but without the sex part of it, just being able to rent a girlfriend, I think would be fantastic for everybody.
So non-sexual escort.
Non-sexual escort. Like, literally just what they're doing here, just going on a date with people. Because at first I'm like, all right, this is stupid. But if you think about it, there's a lot of guys who, A, don't have a lot of experience with women, B, might have gone through a rough breakup and need to get their mojo back, and C, just don't have a lot of experience dating and they need to try it out. I just feel like it would appeal to a wide range of guys. Or people who are just lonely and want to spend a day with somebody, I think there's a lot of applicable opportunities here for a young entrepreneur who wants to go out and do something.
I definitely say so. Even though I'm just like, damn, $50.
Oh yeah, way too expensive. You gotta bring down the price. But other than that,
that's a lot. I'd be like, okay, $50 if we split everything.
Yeah, because you gotta keep it in mind. You gotta pay for everything in the day. Like, I gotta pay $50 an hour, and then pay for your food, and pay for you to go to the aquarium or movies or whatever.
I would like 20 an hour.
I would take 30 an hour. I go 30 an hour. Other than that, anything more than that is kind of like, I ain't rich.
Yeah, I wouldn't really. I wouldn't do, and I can't see myself going out with like without with a dude with like a rental boyfriend.
I could. You just need to know what you're getting into. Like, clearly, this dude is an idiot, and he was just like, "I can't believe she's dating other guys." Like, yeah, dude, it's a rental service. Like, she's dating a bunch of guys.
Maybe if it was like a gamer who's like into anime, like there's someone that like matches my
like if you would match them up with your personality and stuff, and you just if you go into it knowing like this is just a person who's gonna be here to keep me company for a day and not be like a potential girlfriend for me, then I think you it'll work. But then again, there's room for like people to just be fucking creeps. So again, creeps ruin everything for everybody. So
yeah, yep.
Either way, great episode.
Yep.
Looking forward to more.
Agreed. Up next, we have Uzaki-chan wa Asobitai, episode 1.
Yeah, this was another, I think, very good first episode. In a way that's very different from the rental girlfriend one, because this was a lot slower paced.
Yeah, for me, it took time for it to get the ball rolling, but once it did, it got good very quickly. I remember I wrote my notes like, "Oh, it's not as arrow as I thought it would be," and then 5 minutes later, which makes me, I'm just like, this girl is me. Now, before a lot of people are confused, like, hey, Drew, you're not a short girl with really big tits. How is that you? So for one, she's very like, wow, you're da. I'm nagging on you and being a little bitch. That's super me.
Oh yeah,
definitely. That is super me. I do that to all my friends in general. That's why I'm in person. And then the other thing that makes her me, is definitely the massage part.
Wow, do you like massage?
No, because so fun story time. I'm pretty sure you've heard this like multiple times. But sophomore year, I was going out with a bunch of gays. I ended up putting on the nice clothes. I don't know why it was a white party, but like when they say it was a white party, that means like they're gonna draw marker stuff on you. That was a marker party, so it's like everyone's supposed to be wearing t-shirts because everyone's gonna be marking up your shirt. I don't know why I wore a nice shirt, but once I realized that it was gonna be that kind of party, I was like, oh, I'm taking this off, I guess. So yeah, now there's someone named, well, people aren't gonna know who he is by me saying it. Hal, nice man named Hal. And he was just like, yeah, I get real great massages, really good ones. And I'm just like, oh, I was like, oh, I can use massage, even then, like, I've always kind of had, like, back problems and whatnot. So I was just like, I can use one, actually. So he has me brace myself against the table and kind of, like, bends over so you can have, like, access to my back. And then he really starts going into the massage. When I tell you, I moaned so loud. Literally, everyone was just stopping and looking at me getting a massage. I could not help it.
So most people massages are painful. I remember every massage I've ever gotten has been fucking torturous. So.
Okay, so it's like it's weird. It like hurt, but it hurt like good. Like
no,
it wasn't like oh my god, and it's like it feels bad. It was like like you're really hitting my pressure. Like you're needing the shit out of my pressure points. Jesus. Which is why I was like making a lot of noises and everyone just looked at me like, what the fuck is he doing? So yeah, once I saw that I was like, oh my god, I'm literally Uzaki-chan. Yikes.
Do you also steal people's food constantly?
Okay, that's one thing I don't do. Yeah. That was so funny. Like once they started I think after the movie scene. Because the movie scene, that was like kind of like funny too. That was like pretty funny too. That wasn't like was all right, but after that, everything after that was just like a home run. No pun intended.
Well, especially that home run. She brings her back. I love that she broke her back. That was me. That totally be me. I'd break my back, and then he's like, "You should go to the hospital." He's like, "But what about dinner?"
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I like that we had like this random 1 year time skip in the first minute of the show.
Exactly. Yeah, you were that was definitely giving Oni vibes. Like Oni was just like, I'm just here. Well, when we were younger.
Oh, that's totally also what I did in college as well. Well, I had my own friend group that I hung out with, but on campus, I'd just be like, whatever, I'm laying on this bench playing my whatever game I had.
Not FGO.
Not FGO and not Switch.
So, yeah, and I was always that person like, oh my god, Oni, let's do stuff.
Let's go out and do stuff. Yeah,
and then it somehow flopped when the college ended somehow. But yeah, no, it was.
I like that there was some good attention to detail. I'm pretty sure they, in the background of a lot of the scenes, well, especially for the movie theater, for example, they had movie posters from actual movies. Like there was definitely an It poster behind them at certain points.
Okay, so I wasn't paying attention to the posters that she mentioned. I wasn't paying attention, but I did also. Did you notice the name of the movie theater?
Yeah, the names of the movies, or the names of the movie theater.
The name of the movie theater.
Yeah,
it was literally called Cinememes.
Yeah, Cinememes, and then the movies in the theater were all like puns with cats. It was like the Nounce Awakens pun on Star Wars: The Force Awakens. The Non-Father. So yeah. I don't know what the deal with the cat is, because this fucking cat always appears.
Oh my god, that cat is so ugly. Jesus Christ. Because he's so ugly, it's so disturbing. Like, it's so close. It's like, oh, why?
Freaky cat. There's that one scene when they're doing the VR thing and he just grabs. Also, I love Uzaki because she doesn't do the normal little tropes like, ecchi baka, and slap him or anything. She just kind of...
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, but the cat like just grinning or whatever, like looking fucking weird. I hate that cat.
Yeah, God, I feel like at any point we're gonna start seeing him like doing like a motion of like him jacking off or something.
Also, Uzaki has a point. I'm surprised you didn't bring this up. Don't go to the movies by yourselves, guys. Bring a friend.
Oh, I actually was supposed to mention that. I don't know. I feel like. Okay, so...
God, at least bring a family member. Jesus.
No, I'm saying for me, going to the movies by myself is a good way to wait to like pass the time. I don't know. For some reasons, I find myself that I'm just like in the city all day doing other things, and now like stuff will happen where it's like awkward, where it's like awkward periods of time. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm just awkwardly in the middle, and then because I have an AMC pass, I'm just like, oh, I can just watch a movie. Like I can literally just see any movie I want. So that's what I would actually do.
Well, if you enjoy it, that's fine. Just know that me and a lot of other people are going to be judging you for it.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I don't make it a habit, not a hobby. A habit. I don't make it a habit to go see it by myself. I'm just saying, in times where I'm waiting for people, like my friends aren't there yet, I can just watch it by myself. Like it's just a way to pass the time. I'm not saying I'm like no friends coming with me to a movie. Like I see movies with you guys all the time. Or like you, Mark, and
yeah, but just like the feeling of being in a movie by yourself, that's just depressing. I don't know. Few things are more sad and lonely than being in a room by yourself watching a movie while everyone is there with someone else. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Like, okay, so there, and I love how I say it like as if I do this all the time. I feel like it only happened to me like twice. There are literally only twice in my life that happened, and I was fine with both times. Like one time was when I saw Harry Potter. It was Harry Potter and the Goblet of not the Goblet of Fire, the Order of the Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, that's, like, I'm pretty sure that's, like, my favorite book. I believe that's my favorite book. That's my favorite book, and... Or is it my second favorite book? I read which favorite, but whatever. She's a TERF. Anyways. I saw that movie, and then I went to watch the Simpsons movie right after. I just spent the whole day in the movie, and like, I don't know, it was just, one was super entertaining. I didn't need to stay with anyone. I was cool. I was like, oh, this is great. And I watched the second movie, and I was like, okay, this shit was funny. And then I went home, and I felt perfectly fine. Like, maybe the only loneliness I felt was like me going home by myself, maybe. But like,
I can't do that. I would feel depressed as fuck.
And that was when I was still in high school. The second time that happened was literally, was it this year? It could have been this year.
Pre-March, and I imagine.
Huh?
Before March, I imagine.
Yeah. Yes, obviously. My boyfriend at the time was watching a movie with someone else, and I don't think I wanted to watch that movie, but we were gonna go home together, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not just going to sit around and watch, because at that point it's like, what would be more dumb or sad?
I'm sorry, but that's a very also depressing statement. My boyfriend was watching a movie with someone else, so I went to watch a movie by myself.
I didn't want to watch that movie with him. Like, I literally didn't want to watch it with him. Because I didn't want to watch that movie. I just didn't. Like, I was like, listen, some of his choices were not A1. So I was just like, all right, I don't want to watch this movie. I want to watch this other movie that I haven't seen that he saw. So I just went to go watch that movie instead. Great movie. Loved it. Didn't care if anyone was with me or not.
All right, well, you do you, Drew. You wouldn't catch me dead in a movie theater. If you see me dead in a movie theater by myself, someone planted me there.
Is this that bad?
It is that bad. I can't imagine. It's like, it'd be like, imagine going, I'm trying to think of something that'd be worse to do by yourself. Like, I guess maybe going to like a theme park by yourself would be worse. Yeah, I think going to a theme park by yourself would be way worse.
Yeah, going to a theme park would actually be like, yeah, oof, yeah, no, I couldn't do that. Yeah, see, I couldn't do that.
See, that's just one step above going to the movies by yourself, in my opinion, so...
Really? But it's like, it depends. If you go to movie theater with the intent of watching a movie by yourself, and you make a habit of it, I think, yes, then maybe it's like, oh, girl, you okay? Like, maybe I was like, do you actually have people to go with? Like, are you okay? But me, like, both of those scenarios, both of those cases were like very specific scenarios. Like, I was waiting for my boyfriend. What would you rather have me do? Sit at the McDonald's on 2nd Street, just like on my phone for 2 hours? No, that's even more sad.
Grinding done. You got some event going on, some game. Either way, your point has been made. I shall give you the pass.
Yes, thank you very much. There's nothing wrong with seeing a movie by yourself every now and then,
depending on the circumstances. Anyway, let us move on to Fruits Baskets, Season 2, Episodes 13 and 14?
So, full disclosure, don't get mad, definitely didn't see 13, and we are recording really late at night, so I'm just going to leave it up to explain what happened.
Full disclosure, Episode 13 was pretty awful, and it was all about Yuki and his interactions with the student council.
The student council?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I saw like clips of it because when I was gonna watch last week, before you told me that we weren't gonna record last week, I was like, let me just skip around and see what this is about.
You couldn't have picked a better episode to skip because it literally played no role in the plot other than to just go into Yuki's character and why he is the way he is. I mean, I guess it kind of played a role into this episode because Yuki was in this episode and he was like, I need to find out about Rin. But other than that, I mean, you get the point. Yuki's Yuki.
Wow, so there's literally nothing worth mentioning.
He got into a fight with that other guy from the student council and was triggered because the guy was like bothering him, like, man, it looks like Kyo and Toru are a couple now, and then he got pissed off by that, and that was about it. and they like grabbed the guy who was about to punch him. But other than that, nothing happened.
Yeah, something about seedlings. Like, did
he smacked the seedlings out of his hand or some shit. Also, there was this other girl in the student council who like is a troll and cute and stuff, and looks exactly like she looked like Toru Alter. Just literally looked like Toru.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That chick. I was like, why does she look like?
She looked like Toru.
I was like, is that who I think that is? Not that tall. Like,
yeah, it was just a Toru clone. Like, well, we can't have Toru in this episode, so we'll just make a new character that looks exactly like her, but with a very different personality.
That's Toru. I'm Toma. Like,
yes, I am Tomu. Either way, nothing important happened. It was mostly like it felt like a filler episode. So let's just talk about episode 14.
Awesome. Let's indeed.
Which, full disclosure, I didn't even enjoy it this much either.
God, it's just more of Rin being a bitch. Surprise.
Okay, she's kind of a bitch.
Yeah, no, she's being a total bitch. Like, Jesus, like, when was she not a bitch? Like, in the beginning?
I did like the cute kiss between her and Haru, though.
That was great. I love that, even though it was weird because, incest, but...
Oh, I've accepted that as part of the Soma dynamic.
Yeah, I guess. So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of. I think they kind of overplayed the whole. Oh my god, this character is a super asshole, but they're actually a super tsundere, and they're actually doing stuff to protect people. I'm like, you already did this. You already did this I feel like you did this at least with 2 other characters. I forget the first one, but the second one's definitely the little boy.
Yeah, who's the other character is an asshole that just does it to protect people? I forget. But anyway, yeah, they've done it a few times.
Yeah. I'm just like, come up with something new, please.
Yeah, I mean, you can only have so many characters before you start repeating traits among them.
Yeah. I love how they brought up the parents' conference, and then everyone just felt away because no one's parents cares about this conference. Either they're garbage people or they're dead.
Pretty much. Well, yeah, we don't care. We're Somas. We're the Soma family. We don't give a shit
about our children. I did like that Yuki actually showed the fact that he cares about other people that's not Toru.
That was nice. I guess that's part of his development from the last episode, too. He gives a shit about the student council. Oh, he gives a shit about people. He now cares.
Yeah, I now care. My personality isn't like, I feel bad about my past with Akito, but also save me, Toru. It's a little bit more than that.
I like that Kagura showed up and had her little moment. And now we clearly see there's like a little bit of a strain in the relationship between Kyo and Toru. At least Kyo is very self-conscious. So now I'm wondering if Kagura is going to confront him about that too.
Probably, but I think that maybe not, only because by the end of the episode, I think he gets over that when he sees Toru in trouble. Well, not in trouble, but like on the ground. And Toru, something I actually want to see more of is Toru processing like the death of her like mother.
Really, I felt like that was overdone. Like they did that a lot last season too, or this season. Was it last season or this season? Where she like has random moments where she just remembers her mom's death and gets super sad. That was this season.
It was this season.
I mean, I get it, but...
No, exactly, like, her mom just died. Like, her mom this isn't like, this was 5 years ago.
Sorry, that was last season.
That was literally, like, a few months...
That was 26 episodes
before
ago.
Season 1 started. And it was I thought it was weird how she never really, like...
It was weird that she never really dwelled on it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, that was your mom.
And I know that it sometimes hits people late. Like, sometimes people get hit by it like, later on in life. So I guess this makes sense from a character standpoint. It just feels like from a narrative standpoint, it just feels weird because I'm like, okay, now randomly throughout the series,
it should have been done in season 1, honestly, because it's like all season 1, you're just like, damn, I'm kind of sad my mom's dead, but I love her, so everything's okay, right? And now this episode, she's just like, oh my god, mom, don't leave me, and I'm just like, okay, but that's what I feel. I don't know. I mean, who are we to judge how people process things and trauma and all the life? Because people often bottle up their feelings all the time. I think that's what's happening now. She bottled up her feelings surrounding her mom's death for so long, and now it's starting to crack because she's still a teenage fucking girl. So, and it was her mother.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Toru gets a pass.
She always gets a pass. I love her.
Yeah, Toru's forever. She's got the infinite pass.
Indeed. I also love Haru. Oh, she's so great. Also,
I like that they revealed that Haru is the reason why Yuki is free now.
Yeah, and then that one scene where the last scene where like Haru comes out of nowhere and he's just like, oh yeah, after Rin once again is being a giant bitch and calling Yuki an asshole for no reason. And then he's like, hey, calling people assholes isn't nice. And then he's just super sexy with like his shirt going all the way to the bottom. Like, are you still in high school? Why are you dressing like this? Like, why are you dressing like a twink on Mardi Gras during Mardi Gras? I don't understand.
Who are you to judge his lifestyle, Drew?
No, he's a kid. He cannot be dressing so sexy, alright? I am fine with Momiji cross-dressing because he's cute and adorable. But listen, this Haru almost has just shirt off completely. I'm just like, Chotomate. He actually went around people like, if my child ever dressed like that, I'd be like, oh no.
My child will never dress like Haru.
Yeah, no, you need some buttons. You need like a button or two. Like you are too young to be showing off the chest hair that you haven't even grown yet.
Well, he was trying to appeal to Rin. He's like, listen, Rin, this is what you're missing right now.
And she was like, no, and then she was like, yes. And she was like, yes. And then he said something else, and she was like, no. And then she ran away.
Poor Haru and poor Rin for whatever.
Poor sexy Haru.
All right.
Wow.
Does that wrap up everything you had to say about Fruits Baskets?
Yes, it does, and this wraps up our weekly review. And now begins our brand new segment that we will call the filler arc. And the segment is speaks for itself. Essentially, we're going to fill it up with whatever random topics we want. It could be anything. We can fill this up, with potential, small interviews with people, with Q&As, with just random rants about certain anime and what have you. But I'm sorry.
I was gonna say but yeah, continue with it. I lost my thought.
Okay. So for today's topic in the filler arc, we're actually going to talk about the first 2 seasons of Oregairu.
Yes, and I've been waiting for this moment for all my life.
Yeah, I've been waiting much longer, seeing how I've watched it.
But I had a much more intense waiting. So how are we going to do this? We're going to do season 1 first and season 2, or just as a whole, and jump back and forth?
I think going back and forth, only because how I feel about it has a lot to do with me comparing seasons 1 and 2.
Same. So, you want to start, or should I?
I'll go first. So, this show, and I feel like it's the plus and the minus are the same like its biggest problem is also it makes it so good. It's like this show, you can see it's clearly written. I know it's gonna sound dumb, but I'll explain. It seems like this show is written for adults, and that's a good thing. But the bad thing is, it also seems like it's written by adults. So what I mean by that, I
kind of get what you mean by that.
You get what exactly. So when I say the good part of that is like, yeah, it's great dialogue, it's funny, it has like the serious moments, blah 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 blah. General all around. The bad part, especially in season 2, is that this sounds like grown-ass people projecting like grown-ass problems onto children. Like, kids do not think like this.
Yeah. And to a very like existential degree, like very philosophical problems onto high school situations where they're not warranted.
Exactly. Like, so a lot of this is very like, I feel like a lot of this drama, especially in season 2, which is my problem. Yeah. Season 2, they just laid it on. Like season 2 started giving me Kuzuno Honkai vibes.
Yes.
Like, but not in a good way. See,
it's like you're looking at my notes. Drew, are you looking at my notes?
No, but not in a good way. At least Kuzuno Honkai, as shitty as it was like trashy, but like in a for me at least, it was in a good way. Like, it's talking about kids like having sex and all these like outrageous like plot points. However, in season 2, it was very much like super heaviness about like the student council elections, and everyone just feels the need to go their own way. Like, I'm self-sacrificing myself. I'm self-sacrificing myself. I'm not gonna sacrifice myself, and I'm gonna screw over you guys to make your sacrifices meaningless. But I want to sacrifice myself. I have a problem about it. And I'm just like, girl, that's a lot. That is so much just for student council elections.
Yeah, it went really over the top, and it was super heavy-handed. And it felt like everyone just took their stupid pills that morning. Because yes, I know that Hachiman was very self-destructive, but he was way more self-destructive in season 2, to the point where it's kind of like, what are you talking about? And then Yui and Yukino just completely lost their character thread, where Yukino was just, she went from being like the quick-witted, like she had her insecurities and stuff, but she was always quick-witted and could come up with good solutions. And then she went from that to just being like a bitch and running out of the room and crying. And Yui was just non-existent. She just appeared here and there. I was like, I'm gonna run
she was like, she's like, I'm the Band-Aid that we slap on like, all this conflict. Which I'm like, it's cool, but it's not really a personality trait. Which hurt for me, because it's like, I love you, Igahama.
Yeah, Yui's my favorite character next to Komachi, and even then, it's like, and the other big problem for me with season 2 is they focused way too much on Hachiman, but they focused on the worst part of him, because I'm indifferent towards him as a character. Sometimes I love him and sometimes I hate him. I love him when he is like, because he really reminds me of Kyon from Haruhi sometimes, where he's very sarcastic and he's commentating on the stuff that he's seeing, but being very cynical and dry and sarcastic about it. When he's doing that, I love him. He's great. When he's doing his whole nihilistic, like, I just want something genuine and no one loves me thing, which he did for like half of season 2. Like, getting from episode 1 through 8 in season 2 was a chore for me. Thank God once episode 9 came around, it got better. But the first 8 episodes were just crazy.
No, I would say I like the part where he was like, I want something, because that's also at the end.
Yeah, but it was better handled because it wasn't as depressing and it wasn't as like heavy. Because like the first 8 episodes, everything was Hachiman. Everything was just Hachiman being like, it's all crazy.
It was a breakthrough moment.
But yeah, like, in the later episodes of season 2, he was still doing it, but they had like Iroha there and the stupid council from the other school doing the fucking hand things.
I hated that so much.
Spending the whole budget on hand movements.
Oh god. I'm just like, kids don't talk like that. See, that's the thing. And that's my problem. Although I found it really funny, kids do not talk like that. I mean, even though I know you're doing it for like the joke. But the gag is real humans, like real grown adults, they do the bullshit like that.
It doesn't work when you try to do it with kids.
Yeah, we try to do it with kids. To me it was just funny, but not believable. But funny.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, they did it for I don't know, they just put a lot of like over the top scenarios that like don't exist, and then because it's so over the top, it required a super in-depth philosophical analysis of everything, where everyone's doing the most for no reason. And everyone feels a type of way about something, and it's just like, there's a part of me I'm just like, can we actually just get an arc where they just like kind of help people?
Yeah, like, can we go back to being the service club and helping people and stuff?
Yeah, instead of being the super semi-high school political, like, I don't know, Degrassi, but on
steroids.
Like mess. Like, ugh. It was just a lot.
It didn't help that they didn't have any other of the side characters. Like, none of the interesting side characters made an appearance for the first half of the series. Like, where was the trap? Saika wasn't there. The teacher barely had any appearances until the end.
Yes, the girl with the glasses.
The girl with the Abina, yeah, she was great. Oh my god, all the moments of season 1.
Season 1 was so amazing.
Yeah, oh my god, she said some crazy shit. Like,
really
it's gay time.
Yeah, she just said, she literally was just like, I just want to see y'all fuck. Like, she, and then I loved how, like, that whole group dynamic, even though I thought that was super dramatic, but, like, that was super over the top and dramatic, but, like, I love the way they kind of handled it. It was, like, because it wasn't so... It's like, I like the way they handled it. I just didn't like everyone's like responses to how it was handled. Like, everyone would be like, "Ugh, Hachiman, you saved the day." Ugh. But Jesus fucking Christ. Everyone's happy. No one's feelings are that hurt. But ugh, how dare you take his moment, even though she literally did not want that to happen. And that's the whole point of like trying to stop it.
I mean, I didn't get that. Because isn't the whole reason that you're talking about the confession, right?
Yeah, the whole point is that he was trying
to confess to her. And then,
okay, well, maybe I don't think the other people may have known.
Is that why? But I mean, it couldn't have been more obvious.
No, I don't think the other people like knew that homegirl that Ebina asked Hachiman to stop it.
No, they didn't know that. But isn't the whole point of they didn't want Toby to confess to Ebina because they knew Ebina was going to reject him and it would be awkward. But she basically rejected him anyway, just indirectly. She was just like, "Oh, I can't date Hachiman because I'm not dating any." So it's still the same shit happened. We still the group is still aware that Toby has feelings for Ebina and Ebina is not going to reciprocate. Like, it should still have the same effect no matter who she rejected because she still in the end rejected Toby. He just did it with an extra step added in between. So I'm like, all right, whatever. It doesn't really make sense, but okay.
Yeah, it didn't. And because it ended the way it ended, which ultimately was good for everyone, it's like, I don't understand why.
Yeah, they definitely blew that out of proportion. They're like,
that's one thing as a whole I have as a critique. They overblow a lot of situations out of proportion. Like, at least in Kuzuno Honkai, it makes sense. Because teenagers having sex, it's a mess. That in itself is mess. Everyone's super sensitive about it. Everyone gets weird and awkward. And it's a trashy drama. Fine. This anime, which is like, it has really strong moments. So it's like, when I see those overreactions, I'm just like, excuse me, oh my god. I'm choking on my own saliva. Excuse me. So when I see stuff like that, it's like, I feel like you're almost cheapening your own work of art when you have these overreactions, because it's like, don't make it so melodramatic that you take away from the importance of why it was done.
Yeah, and I like when it just works better when they actually give the things the amount of attention they deserve. Because I think the problem with the student council election arc was it went on way too long. It was like 4 episodes or 5 episodes. Whereas the whole Iraha getting rejected plot thread literally lasted like half an episode, where she just gets rejected by Hayama, and she's sad about it, and she connects with Hachiman over it, and it's all right, back to normal. So it's like, why can that be solved so quickly and easily? But this student council election stuff, is such a huge issue.
And it's like, does each season, does the main group always have to come to like on the verge of like coming apart?
Yeah, I don't like that either.
That? Like it happened in both like the first season, it kind of made sense because they were like finding their bearings, but like the second one, and it wasn't even just like, oh, this is something that's happening at the middle or at the end. It was like right from the jump, they were just all had like they just all had this weird tension with each other. They were all at odds for one reason or another. And
also,
like,
I don't understand. Like during the whole Ebina arc where the confession stuff, they literally told Hachiman, do your thing. Like, he was like, I have a way to solve this so that no one gets hurt. And they were like, we trust you, do it. You know what he's gonna do. And then he does it, and they're like, I can't believe you did that thing. Why? I can't believe it. Oh my god. Literally, last episode, he did the same shit with the stupid girl that was the chairman from the festival.
Oh yeah, can we talk about that for a second? Holy hell. So, was literally... See, it's like, if they could just tweak some of these situations, I feel like we got such a believable storyline with a believable ending where everything isn't so like blah, like for no reason. Like, you have this girl who shirks all of her duties as like the chairhead, literally putting them all on this one chick. And on Yukinon. And then leads to some kind of weird shit where he's like, I'm doing it myself. I can do it by myself. I'm great. And then he's like, yeah, except you really can't, and nor should you. Like, why did no one at any point tell Homegirl, hey, what you're doing is not, like, get your shit together and actually do something. Participate.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of issues things that happen in the show where they could just solve it in like literally a minute just by saying something real quick.
Exactly.
But they just don't.
You just all confront her and just be like, do your damn job. And because then it gets to a point where like the girl is like struggling, and it's just like, am I supposed to feel bad for her?
I don't.
Exactly. I don't. Like, she literally brought this upon herself. So, and it's just like, and I feel like they know, the people who wrote this know the audience is not supposed to feel any sympathy. But then it's like they do in this weird way that they're like, let's fix it by making up this really bizarre scenario where Hachiman cusses her out, and it's so crazy because it wasn't even like and he could have cussed her out the right way, and then he cussed him out the Hachiman way. The Hachiman way made no sense.
You're not doing anything. Get your shit together, girl.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been the right way. The Hachiman way, however, was just like, you're like me.
Yeah, we're not so different, you and I. You're like, dude.
Like, hello? What are you saying? That's something useful. It's like all this just so you can be the bad guy, so then like all the friends can rally around her, make her feel better about herself, to make her actually do her duties as president. Boy, I would have been like, bitch, you didn't do anything this entire time. The bare fucking minimum. Below the bare fucking minimum. And speak on the microphone, get your stuff done, and let's finish this correctly.
Yeah, hello? He had like this Batman level scheme when he could just be like, get your shit together, girl.
Exactly. So much of the stuff in the plots are so unnecessary.
Also, can we talk about? Oh, you finish your thing. I'm about to change the subject.
No. You can change it. Go ahead.
Before we lose it, I want to say that Yukino's sister is like fucking. She went from season 1 kind of being like this bitchy antagonistic character to season 2 becoming a fucking supervillain.
A freaking sociopath.
She is. She wanders onto the scene like Mr. X from Resident Evil 2. She just, no one's expecting her. You're just going about your day, and then boom, through the wall comes Haruna. And she's just like, the fuck is going on here?
And she just leaves a path of destruction.
Yeah, it's like, I hope you guys weren't having a good day because I'm about to destroy it real quick.
Literally that day we're all making sweets, and then she's like, I'm saying a few words about Yuki-non, and then they're all sad.
Yeah.
She's like, well, guess my job here is done.
You're all pathetic losers. Bye.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And that was such a big thing because I don't think that we should have waited till season 3, a cute 7 years later, to realize why she's like that. You could have literally.
Thank God I didn't watch this in 2015. I'd be so fucking pissed.
Oh my,
I understand why people are so clamoring for this season so badly.
Exactly. Like, I feel bad for people who are like huge fans and saw this like when it came out. Oh my god. Also, random note, this is where I started saying it. Yeah, hello from. This is where I got it from. I forgot where I started doing it.
As always, Yui gifting us with a wonderful.
Exactly. Fucking Yui. God bless her.
And I love that it's like kind of an inside joke type of thing where she's the one who originally just starts saying it, and then she says it to other people, and then everyone just starts saying it.
I love it. Like, at some point, like, even like the sister was saying it.
Yeah,
like,
the sister comes out and just starts saying, yeah, hello.
And I'm just like, yes!
Komachi was saying it and everything. Like, it just all just starts saying it. It's a little cute little inside joke. And see, and that's where the good part of the series comes from. Because it does a lot of these little subtle things.
We were critiquing it a lot, but there is a lot of, like, good stuff.
Yeah.
At least in season 1. But there's a lot of stuff. Something that they didn't do as much in season 2, which I liked in season 1, it showed the whole cast. Like that. And like you guys actually see them, not them just like in the middle of their drama and they're just like, like you guys see them outside of the drama. Like, you know, season 1, as Oni said, had that nice balance.
Yeah, like even that girl that I thought was initially going to be like, she became one of my favorite characters, Yukimi, the blonde one, that has a thing for what's it, Hayama. Like when she first introduced, and she's just like this stereotypical bitchy popular girl character, and she's like harassing Yui, and then she ends up having like these weird moments where she starts becoming like a comic relief. One of my favorite moments of the first season was when Yukino just tells her off at the campsite.
Oh my god!
And she's like, I'm tired of your elitist complex. And then Yukino was like, I don't have an elitist complex. Maybe you just think that way because you're feeling inferior to me.
That was yeah. Season 1 was great because the shade was just
Yukino was the queen of shade. Oh, she had so many great moments.
Oh my god, that bitch was beating everyone left and right.
And even in serious moments, like there was a scene where she's clearly kind of depressed or like sad, and she's like in the forest and just humming or singing or something, and then Hachiman shows up and she's like, "Who's there?" And then he's like, "It's me, Hachiman," and she's like, "Who's there?" like who the fuck are you again?
I don't know. Who?
Yeah.
That's so great.
And that's exactly what I missed from season 2 for at least the first half. I'm like, oh, where's my shady Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, that is what made her so great in season 1. And they took it out in season 2, and then she was just like, like the entire time. Yeah, and I also did like everyone was just so much less in season 1 that it was like it was deal like we could deal with it, but oh man,
it had a better balance. Season 1 had a good balance between drama and comedy and just general antics of the characters and romance. There was actually a little bit of romance in season 1. There wasn't really much in season 2.
Yeah,
other than the Iroha thing, I guess. Iroha was a great character. That was like the only thing in season 2 that I would say head and shoulders was a great addition. Iroha was great.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
So I guess overall, what would you rate the seasons?
Season one.
Mm-hmm.
Season one is, I would say it's an 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of very strong characters from places you wouldn't expect. Great dialogue, and yes, there was a drama a bit for sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but it made up for the fact that it had lots of comedy, really solid moments overall from start to finish.
Yeah.
Season two, I'd give a 6. Basically because you just took out all the things that balanced out that drama and took it out, so just like, ugh, like
Mm-hmm. It was just a chore. I would say season 1 9 because I really enjoyed it. I think it's not as good as Bunny Girl Senpai, but very similar to it and almost as good. Like it has very close
like Bunny Girl
similarities.
Senpai. I give a 9. This I give 8.5 because Bunny Girl Senpai, it wasn't like it never felt too forced. Like there was no
Yeah, it didn't
forced
feel
drama.
forced. I think it
Like,
also helped that it had a
like-
supernatural element to it because it was like, oh, you get to take it more seriously.
So those crazy heavy moments actually make sense.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't just like crazy heavy moments because somebody's running unopposed for student council. So yeah, season 1 I give a 9 because I really, really enjoyed the characters. I really loved all the little bits of comedy and drama that it had. Season 2, I agree, 6. It was just so dry and so forced for most of it. I think it got better towards the end, but it took a long time to get there. So yeah, the series definitely works better when you have all three of them together, Yui, Yukino, and Hachiman, and they're all there, and they have the side characters coming in and out and doing their thing. Like, everyone needs to be there for it to be good. And when you just focus on one character, like Hachiman and his trauma, it just kind of gets stale to me.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think that ends this really long podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed our new segment as well. The filler arc will be part of our podcast now, so if you have any suggestions you'd like to see us cover as well, feel free to drop those in the comments below. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe so you can catch all the episodes of the G&A Podcast as they go up. Also, do follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, and join the party over on our Discord. If you like, you can even become a patron like all these lovely members on screen right now. You get a bunch of cool benefits like member access to the hidden Discord channel, the Midnight channel, as well as the ability to watch the weekly anime with us. We're watching ReZero this season, so if you want to be part of that live watch, consider donating and becoming a member. Drew, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Even though I can't say yeah hello to you guys, so I'll just say yeah goodbye.
Yes.
Doesn't sound the same.
Yeah, goodbye, everybody. Until next time. This has been Soberoni and
Jubidu.
we'll catch you guys later. Later.
Bye.